going to be fun, everybody.
Is it on? No, it's not.
So, how y'all doing tonight? I was going to Triple X the other day, and I was trying to get to the bathroom, and I bumped into this waitress who had all of these drinks and stuff in her on this tray in front of her. And I wanted to say I'm sorry and I'm pardon me at the same time, and it just came out as that I'm party, and it was really just kind of awkward. So anyway, unrelated note, I've been thinking a lot about killing myself recently. And it's not because of any sort of like particular reasons. She doesn't love me. That's really loud. She doesn't love me. It's not like that. It's just I don't want to do this anymore. I wake up every day. I go to lecture. I finish lecture. I go to bed. Like it's not any good. But the problem is, if I'm going to kill myself, I want to do it in a very specific way with one motive in my head. And that is to kill myself in a way that preserves as much of my street cred as possible. Because, you can't just, hang yourself in a back alley. Because, the guys in the fight is like, hey, look, it's hanging pork because he's fat. It's like, dude, you're a cop, not a comedian. And so, I came up with 3 criteria for how to have a really classy suicide. Number 1, your outfit. You can't show up in a pajama shirt and sweatpants because there's no he's half chub and he's dead. It doesn't work. But the thing is, you can't show up in a suit and tie and blow your brains out because A, you ruin the suit. B, people are gonna think, was it a fetish thing? Just it doesn't work. So I decided that the perfect outfit to kill yourself in is a morph suit. I mean, you could pull it over your head, take a hose from the car exhaust pipe, just stick it in the ass. That's so fucking terrible. Criteria number 2, location, location, location. You gotta think about it like a real estate agent. You can't do it in a back alley. You gotta do it somewhere classy. Not too classy. Not like an Olive Garden. That's too nice. Too nice for suicide. Because they don't clean the bathrooms anyway, your brain's gonna stay on that ceiling. So I settled on the perfect location for a suicide, Chili's. Any of y'all been to a Chili's? They're so nice. It's just like, hey, I'm gonna kill myself in half an hour. I'm like, all right, honey, let me get you half off on a margarita. You look like you could use it. It's a nice place to kill yourself. Anyway, I've been watching lots of movies that are, watching them, it's kind of like having sex with a figure skater, just really long and boring. I don't do it because I have any sort of serious interest in art. It's just because I would have a really reliable way to get people to stop talking to me at parties. Because, someone's just like, hey, yo, how's it going? I like your shirt. Well, I think that the way that marriage sort of develops, the breakdown of love between, they're gone instantly. But, there was recently one movie that was too long and too boring for even me to, get through, and that was The Irishman. Because, it's a 3-hour-long movie, and no one knows what happens in it, because no one watches it. Everyone says they have. Or they start watching it, and then an ad for Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle shows up, and that's way more interesting. So, you're getting to the climax, not of Gwyneth Paltrow, but of the show. And it's Marlon Brando's character. We all know he's gonna die, and it's an hour-long build-up to it's when are they gonna kill him? How's he gonna do it? It's a moral dilemma. Literally what happens is Robert De Niro pulls out a gun, shoots him, and then it goes on to the next scene. It's just God, the last time my balls were blue. I can't do that in front of Mike and Dave, I'm so sorry. It's about my mom. The last time my balls were this blue, I was in the closet and my parents were in the bedroom, and I can't finish it. It involves a drill. Okay. We're just gonna move on. All right. I got one last set for you. So, another movie that I just recently could not understand was the idea of the Sonic movie. Because, who likes Sonic? Does anyone actually like Sonic? Is there a single Sonic fan here?
I'll jump on there.
You'll jump? Why would you like Sonic? Sonic sucks. He goes fast. What would he fucking do? So does the Flash. So does my dad when he's getting Chinese food. There's no point in making a movie about it. And they got Jim Carrey. What fucking graveyard did they dig Jim Carrey out of? And he flosses in the movie. It's just like, oh, I don't like that. Also, I don't care that they redid the graphics. He still looks weird. Like he's blue and spiky. He looks like an STD. It's just not good. All right, that's the end of my set tonight. I'm very sorry.
All right, guys, how we doing tonight? All right, cool. So, I was talking with one of my friends recently, and she asked me, "Are you allowed to bring an air mattress on an airplane?" And I go, "Well, yeah, you just gotta deflate it first." So now, what that joke was meant to do, here's your guys' expectations of my comedy, like middle of the road. Now it's in the basement, all right? Now it's there. I got you guys right where I want you. You know, don't get your hopes up. All right, perfect. So, I'm gonna just get into a story. So, when I was 13 years old, I played baseball, and I was bullied by my teammates. So if you got like any like formerly bullied kids in the crowd, you want get any? What up? All right. Where my emotionally scarred adults at? Where we at? All right. Awesome. So, anyways, but yeah, I got bullied by my teammates. So first week of practice, we have a few practices, and I like cannot get a hit for the life of me. I'm struggling to make like any contact with the ball at all. And at the end of the week, my teammate Zach, he comes up to me and he goes, "You guys, look, this kid can't hit at all." And my response was, "Oh yeah, I guess." And pretty much what that did is it sent a clear message to the entire team that I was going to be a very easy target for the rest of the season. So it's great. So I think that getting bullied, it was actually a good thing for me. Like it did me some good. Like for instance, some practices I wore jeans to practice. I got bullied enough and stopped. It's like, I'm not even wearing jeans now, so I'd say it works pretty well. They would, and the reason I wore jeans to practice was so, like, I thought to, protect my legs when I'm sliding in, second or third base. But, I wasn't getting any hits in the first place to get on base, to slide at all, so I'm not really sure what I was thinking there. But, the bullying was good for me. It kind of helped me accept, more social norms. Like, those guys who go to porn conventions, they never got bullied enough. They just never got bullied hard enough. All right, well, this is going over like a lead brick, so I'm going to move on. So, recently I was watching Netflix, and there's this show on there called Love is Blind, and yeah, I was watching it because I kind of hate myself, but the premise of the show, for those of you who aren't familiar, is basically two people, they meet each other in two separate rooms with a very thin wall so they can talk to each other, and they never see each other at all. So I was watching the beginning of this one episode, and the narrator is all of a sudden just really descriptive for no reason. So the people who match up, they get engaged and they go to a nice beach location and get to know each other better. So there's a panning shot of the beach, and then I hear a panning shot of the beach appears. It's very nice. And then I'm like, okay, well, the narrator's just getting into it a bit. But what I didn't realize, Netflix has audio captions actually. So it's for blind people who don't know what's going on, they have audio captions to describe that. It's an option on Netflix. I didn't know I had it selected. So anyways, it gets into the part where they're recapping this couple having a really bad argument. And there's the guy and there's the girl, and the guy goes "Hey, I need to tell you something that I haven't told you before." He looks visibly uncomfortable. And then he goes to the girl, she goes, "Well, what's up?" She looks very nervous. He goes, "Well, I just haven't really fully opened up to you about my sexuality. I'm actually bi." She looks visibly disturbed. She goes, "Why wouldn't you tell me that? We're engaged." I don't know, I'm just trying to be honest with you." He throws his beret on the ground. Now, the beret should have been a sign. I mean, I don't know, come on. And then like I realized, I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on here? Finally, I realized that the audio captions are actually on, and I turn them off. But now I kind of like to just turn them on for fun. Just like I think they're like genuinely funny. Like I was watching this one comedian on Netflix, and you know, like part of her act was she did like a funny dance, and like you know, she tells a joke, she does a funny dance, and the caption goes, she leans back and does a silly dance. And like, that's helpful, but would blind people like really know what a silly dance looks like? Who are you helping here? You know, like, and the thing with like blind people is they probably actually do dance like very silly themselves. Like, there's no mirror to look at, like, what they're doing, you know, like a ballerina practices in front of a mirror. You know, a blind ballerina, like, you know, like, oh, make sure you put your leg at 90 degrees. What's 90 degrees? I'm blind, you know, like, I don't know. But would recommend. It's a very funny thing, and that's all I got. Thanks, guys.
James Miller.
I've had a fucking doozy of a week. It started off with like the very normal Purdue, oh, I had 2 exams. So like honestly, the fact that I mentioned that, like I can go fuck myself for that part. But alright, I'll continue. But then after the, should I keep going? Alright. For the second exam, I left my phone in Elliott Hall, which is a great move. And like, fuck it. So like, I haven't gotten my phone back, and that's really been weighing on me. And then after that, I decided to go home and go back to my dorm and be told about how the girl I liked didn't like me back. But honestly, like that was the best thing that happened, cause with my phone, I'm gonna like lose streaks. If my parents like actually cared about me enough to call me, they would think I'm dead or something. And now I'm behind on like my poop maps league. And then like I had to watch porn on my like computer instead of my phone. And like when you're doing it on your computer, like you don't want fucking viruses on that shit. So you have to like go to a reputable source. You can't find like the grimiest shit on the internet and not expect to get a virus. And then like with my GPA, like honestly I would have cared more about my GPA than her in the first place. So like I don't think anything went wrong there. But like this isn't where even the worst part of my week came in. The worst part of my week came in was when I was sitting on the toilet and with cheeks as thick as mine, you know, sometimes there's some stickage to the walls because there's just so much wall space. So I have to wipe a lot, as one does. And basically I tried my best to flush, but it was about to overflow, and I would like to imagine that a person who's in engineering would just be like, you know what, this isn't my problem, I'm gonna move into the next stall. But what does my dumbass do? I'm like, oh fuck, I'm about to get wet. Oh. So I've had some low points this week. So moving on, last time I got up and did stand-up, I talked a lot about sex, and like, I feel like I shouldn't be talking as much about stuff that like I don't have major experience with recently. So instead, I'm gonna be an atheist talking about religion. I feel like the Bible is sort of like, it's like a fanfic, but like people were like, yes, that is what I'm living my life by. But I wish people like treated it more like a fanfic, because if you treated it more like a fanfic, people wouldn't be like, yo, so like, I heard like God hates the gays, but also crustaceans, and people could just be like, you know, I didn't really like that writer. That's not how I envision God. Like when I envision God, like I imagine like deep blue eyes, a jawline that could cut stone, a six-pack. You know, never mind. I feel like the idea of somebody getting 72 virgins after they die is a very weird concept. Like, do they like reduce, reuse, and recycle like dead virgins? Is that a thing? And in that case, like, I'm just thinking from a logical standpoint, like, what percentage of dead virgins are a little bit too young for you to enjoy if you've like died well, you know? And also, like, I feel like just for a numbers game, like, doesn't that mean a lot of people aren't gonna like go to heaven or whatever they call it? Because like from a numbers standpoint, like there's definitely gonna be, or actually are there? I live at Purdue, so I guess there are gonna be a lot of dead virgins from here, but but in general, I feel like a majority of people aren't gonna die virgins, and then if the good people get 72. How many bad people are there going to have to be in the world if we're reusing people? Yeah, that's all I got.
Someone who isn't a dead virgin yet. We're going to have Charlie Billings come up with some jokes.
Thank you. This is fun. You guys might not know there's an open mic tonight at Mad Mushroom. 9 o'clock. You guys should go. Let's see. Have any of you ever shoplifted or stolen anything? You can tell me, I'm not a cop. Yes! Alright, I like that. All it took for me to convince you that I'm not a cop was for me to say I'm not a cop. Failed the test. How you guys doing back there? Were you here for the open mic or just here to eat? Thank you! Let's keep the energy up, I love it. So yeah, I shoplifted one time on accident. I was like really young and I was at like a flea market and they were selling like used games and like there was this Pokemon game that I really liked. And for some reason I viewed this Pokemon game as this holy entity and I just wanted to feel it on my skin. I put it in my jacket so I could feel it against my body. My mom caught me and she started lecturing me about stealing and shoplifting. And I feel like if she knew what I was actually doing, she'd be a lot more disappointed. She made me go to the manager and return it and apologize. And he's like, oh, it's okay, man. We'll make a... Hey, why is this so warm? Thank you. This is fun. Let me see. I skipped class today. This is a true story. I skipped class today for no other reason than I took a big shit. You know, I just feel like after you have diarrhea, like, I can't be a functioning member in a classroom, you know what I'm saying? And I have this anxiety that, like, everybody knows what I've done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it kind of sticks to me in some way. But, you know, I'm more than my own shit, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, I did stay in a stall for a really long time because the guy next to me was being really loud and I just wanted to see who it was. It was James. Snakes. Molt. I learned that when I was 5 when my dad brought in a dead snake skin and put it on the counter. Scared the shit out of me. I just don't understand why the first thing you think of when you see a dead snake skin is to bring it inside for your 5-year-old son. So I put it in his bed. You know, I'm kind of weary of social media. And I think it's because the first time I ever got Facebook, the first picture I was ever tagged in just said, "Fuck you." And I think that was after he found the snake skin. Last week I went to the wrong lecture. Don't worry, there's no joke. I just want to see if you guys will laugh at that. Yeah, I got to campus early. I was like an hour early, and I just like got some stuff done. And I went to the right room at the wrong time, and it was like an organic chemistry lecture, and it was really funny, so I stayed until they passed out the quiz. Here's the funny part, I didn't study. And I got really nervous, you know. I'm a communication major, but I couldn't tell the girl next to me that I wasn't in the class. And so I'm the last one in the class. The teacher's kind of looking at me funny. And she's like getting closer to me, says, "Did you just take a shit?" Thank you, you guys have been wonderful. Thank you.
It's strawberry jam. I don't know if that's what it is.
All right, that's right. Strawberry Jam, that's my stage name. Trying it out. I don't know if it's good or not. But this is comedy night. We're supposed to talk about lighthearted topics, stuff that makes you just really want to laugh. So let's talk about math. Everybody loves math, right? Yeah. No, I'm just kidding with you. Math sucks. Math is hard. It's just hard for everybody. And there might be some people out there who are good at math, but they just enjoy the challenge you get from it. So they're basically masochists. And you think about it, math has all the hallmarks of a cult. Like you got the blind followers, the fanatics, but you also have all the really weird phrasing and memorization. They use symbols from an ancient language. Like, imagine you need to do good on your next math test. You think, I'm going to pray to the math gods. You gather a bunch of people, we're going to go in the basement of the math building. Let's carve a unit circle into the dirt. We're going to light candles at each of the 30-degree marks. Next step, got to prepare a virgin sacrifice, which is just someone who hasn't been fucked by calculus yet. And summon our math demon. Turns out your math demon is just a really short guy with greasy hair, wearing an oversized polo and khakis, and his favorite word is actually. All right, great math spirit, what must we do to pass this math class? Actually, the secret to being good at math is to study and do your homework. All right. Well, homework is worthless if the professor ain't shit. So, new motivation trick. Gather all your friends. Whoever gets the lowest grade on the final has to get a tramp stamp to quadratic formula. What's next? PSA for you all. It's just a friendly reminder. I want to make sure that you're all flossing your teeth. Yeah. Because flossing is one of those things where everybody says they do it, but no one actually does. So it's like the opposite of watching porn. I mean, that being said, porn's not the worst thing you can watch. For example, the other day, I was streaming something in my room. My roommate walks in on me and he goes, "Oh my God, you're disgusting. You're watching Fox News?" I think you noticed with those normal, non-virus filled porn sites, you got the big studio videos with all the stars who are like 10% body fat and 90% plastic. So, it's like a trash can at the doctor's office. They also got like homemade videos from regular, everyday couples. And the thing you notice with those videos is those people never show their face. But like, why not? What are you afraid of? Is someone going to recognize you? Are they going to call you out in public? Like, that'd be a nightmare. Like, imagine you go to work one day, and your boss says, "Hey everybody, I have a new coworker I'd like you all to meet." And you introduce yourself by saying, "Hi, I'm Strawberry Jam. Well, I watched you have sex last night." I mean, but why do people do it? It can't just be for attention, right? There's got to be some money involved. Like, say Pornhub, they got to have a monetization scheme like YouTube does. Although they probably treat their creators better than YouTube. So like, imagine at some point everybody just gets so fed up with YouTube, they migrate over to Pornhub, which, to be fair, would not be a bad thing. Because one, it desensitizes you to porn, so you can say stuff like, "Hey bro, did you watch that Big Horny MILFs movie last night?" But on top of that, it's just YouTube, but it's 18+, so no stupid censorship. So like, you can log on to the front page and say, I wonder what's good today. Oh sweet, Animal Crossing. Well, what else they got? Ben Shapiro destroys liberals with facts and cocks. What else? Oh, we got a Cardi B music video, but oh, nothing's changed. It's just straight porn. And that's my time. Thank you all for coming out tonight.
Please welcome Cooper.
I'm an engineering student, but you knew that. I look like STEM. Like, that's a fun fact, by the way. Like, if you ask an Asian to describe themselves, they'll be like, yeah, science, technology, engineering, math. I can't really imagine myself like being an engineer though for whatever reason, and maybe it's because school right now is like so hard. But like, I just can't really imagine myself like in a workplace or like transitioning to an engineer. Like, I kind of feel like if my transition to an engineer is kind of like how Kim Kardashian wants to be a lawyer. Like, I was just fucked, and now I want to change the world. I was calling this white man useless. I said we don't need him. My friend who was with me was like, Cooper, that's the crosswalk street symbol. For the sake of continuing this joke, let's just say he said, said, hey, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Never got that phrase though. Like, I mean, I get it, like, be nice is the moral, but like, I think it's like too strong, Like, if you have nothing nice to say, like, don't say anything. Like, what if I saw someone who was getting beat up by like a lot of people? And they're like, help me! I was like, okay, and I stepped in, I'm like, hey, guys! Hey, great form. I mean, you are really hurting that person. He's been passed out for 30 seconds and you're still hitting him, like, above and beyond. And the police come later, they're like, would you say, like, the act that you saw was, like, criminal-like? I'm like, No, you guys ask really great questions. You guys ever, think or do something like in your head, and in your head, like, it's like such a concrete and great idea, and the moment you do it, you're like, oh no, it's a mistake. Like, you say something like, I'm not gonna masturbate today. You're like, oh no, yeah, definitely gonna masturbate. I notice whenever I, say something that I really regret, like involuntarily, verbally, I'll go like, okay. Like, for instance, I was at this party once and there's this group of girls, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna go talk to these girls. And I was like, that'd be great, like, pickup line's gonna work so well. And I walked up to them and I was like, hi, my name's Icebreaker. They huddled in like a football team, and I was like, okay. Trying to be a better person. I'm looking for like, a lot of motivation. I don't really know why I said it. I think everyone like wants to be a better person. Like, Hitler probably wanted to be a better person. He, failed miserably, but he probably woke up every morning and was like, it's another morning. Like, let's be better. It's like, let's see what's first on the list. Do the Holocaust. I don't know. But I was thinking, and I think about motivation, and I think, like, I want to be like the guy who invented, like, super glue. Like, he saw glue and he was like, watch this shit. I wouldn't want to be the guy who invented Gorilla Glue, though. Like, that's kind of weird. Just like... I'll be honest, I don't really know what Gorilla Glue is made out of. Thought it was Gorilla Cum. Oh, okay. Alright, that's all I have. Thanks, guys.
Please welcome to the stage, it's a very special occasion. It's Hayze Morrison's first mic with us. Please give him a warm welcome.
So, y'all ever have to take a speech class here, like Common 14 or like a speech class in high school? Yeah, they're kind of pointless. Like, I never have taken a speech class and I'm like, I think I can give speeches better now. It taught me one thing, and that's how to bullshit. When you take a speech class, you really go in, you learn how to bullshit, you learn how to make stuff up. And as long as you sound like you know what you're doing, everyone's like, all right, this kid deserves an A. You know, give me a sec. Okay. So when I was in high school, there was this kid, right? And let's just call him Saul Mark. And he was a notorious drunk. And he was in my speech class, right? And he walks into class high as a kite one day. Just no clue what's going on. I don't know how the teacher didn't realize this, but he was very high. And we're doing like impromptu speeches. So you gotta reach in the bag, and whatever you pull out, that's what you give your speech on. So he reaches in the bag and pulls out a bionicle. I don't know if y'all remember what bionicles are. They're like the little Lego things or whatever. But he gives this speech on bionicles, and he possesses like some clairvoyant knowledge on bionicles all of a sudden. He's like, yeah, this one's made in 2001. It's part of the second model, 3rd series, and he just kills it. And it makes you wonder, like, maybe like everyone should, you know, before a speech, it gives you that much confidence. But the next day, teacher comes in and she goes, all right, we need to wrap up these impromptu speeches. You know, who hasn't gone yet? And this kid raises his hand, he's like, I haven't gone. He did give a speech yesterday on bionicles. And we turn to him, we go, dude, you gave your speech yesterday. He's like, no, I didn't. Like, you gave it on bionicles. He goes, what the fuck is a bionicle? That's all I have for you guys.
All right. We got another special occasion. It is Nick's first time performing with us. Come on up. Give him a warm welcome.
Y'all feeling good? Excuse me if you like hear the cough dropping in my mouth. That corona going on, I don't want y'all just to start running away thinking I got corona or something like that. I'm good. So, assuming that none of y'all townies, y'all actually go to Purdue. If you are a townie, no disrespect to you, man. Y'all live here too. But I'm pretty sure all you guys went to BGR, correct? Or know people who went to BGR? Yeah, a lot of times people always say BGR really wasn't good for me. My counselor wasn't good. I was stuck with a bunch of weirdos. But me personally, I really like BGR. Like 70% of people I met, super cool. Still talk to them today. Walk up to them, we go into class and say, hey, what's up, what's going on? But BGR definitely gave Purdue a fake facade, to say the least. Because the first day you get there, you see a bunch of girls you haven't seen before. You always been in high school seeing the same girls. Now you see 1,000 of them all look good. You just feel this confidence like, these hoes don't know me. I can just walk up and say, what up? And they don't know you. Everybody's just trying to fit in. Everybody's like, hey, my name's Randy, I'm from Texas. Hey, my name's Terry, I'm from Dallas, whatever like that. So everybody's just so open just to talk to everybody. So you get into the routine, Monday comes, you meet everybody, Tuesday you start going to the events. People like, hey, you wanna go drink, wanna go smoke, everything going good. You don't gotta wake up that early, you get to wake up at 11, 12 o'clock, everything's fine. And then, you know, that next week comes and then school starts. And then you're like, oh, I'm gonna wake up at 12 o'clock. But you have a 7:30 though. You're late to your 7:30. You're paying for these classes. Missing class. You see that pretty girl that you saw during BGR? You walked up to her, got her number. Now you walk up to her, like, hey, how you doing, Hannah? How you doing? Do I know you? It was like, bitch, you gave me the digits last week. Like, what do you mean, do I not know you? Like, we was texting last night. Like, what's going on? The dudes you see that were walking around campus during BGR, they were like, hey, what's up, dude? How you doing? Same thing. You walk up to them, hey, what's up, bro? They look at you like, what the fuck you looking at? I'm like, I'm just trying to show you a little love, is all. And it's just so crazy because as it like progresses, it's like freshman year, it's just so good because everybody's just so brand new and everybody just so open to talk to you. But it seems like after that first semester goes by, like everybody just gets jaded as hell. Like especially, no disrespect to the females at all, but after y'all go through y'all whole training, recruiting. Y'all go through y'all recruiting. Like y'all can't talk to no dudes unless he got some letters on his chest. Dude could be nice to you as hell, walk up to you, hey, what's your name, how you doing, blah, 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 blah. The only thing this bitch gonna say is, so what house are you in? Do you guys have free beer? Like, bitch, I don't drink. I'm trying to see what we can do. Can we do something? And the same dudes who were shy as hell in little BGR groups, so shy, they're like, well, I used to play in the band. He got an invitation. He gets to get into pipe, and now he thinks he's the man now. You know, he got on his like corduroys. He got on his Sperry's. Now he think he the man. A little girl told him he look good. Now he think he on top of the world. He's walking to you, yeah, bro. I got like 2 or 3 bad bitches, and then you see them, and then they look like your laundry during finals week. You be like, nah, bro. Like that hoe definitely look ugly, and the one I want to make sure that she don't got a penis, because looking like and it's just crazy because, I don't know, we got upperclassmen here? Upperclassmen? Okay, cool. It's just like, because I'm a senior, so like, I seen it like, freshman year, it just went up, and then it just like slowly, just surely goes down. It's like the longer and longer you're here, just like the more jaded people get. It's like the more L's you take. It's like during BGR, like, Ellie, it was so great, you just saw the magician, everybody's laughing, joking. Now every time your ass go to Ellie, you like, man, I'm about to take this fucking L, bro. I'm gonna tell my mom I didn't pass this test. Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, it's just thinking about it. BGR was just so bananas. And then it's just like all these different things. But I definitely do appreciate it though. I definitely did appreciate it. But it's just crazy just how like people just like so randomly change. But not just randomly change. It's just the weird people who change it that makes it so crazy. Because definitely when you come to college, it's time to reinvent yourself. But don't lie to yourself. Like, if you were like that one semi-pretty girl in your high school and there's only 100 people, don't act like you the baddest bitch on campus just because one dude said you look cute. Like, humble yourself. Because I definitely don't want you to get hurt. Oh, that guy, you were in the band, but now you want to act like you're the man now. Like, you still can't hold a conversation, and just because you got an A in your calculus class, doesn't mean that you can like hold water to me or anything in that magnitude. So, it's just like, man, crazy to think about it, but I just came up here, I really had nothing to say. I was just talking about BGR. Appreciate your time. Appreciate it.
All right, the next comic is someone you all know and love, or at least you love the idea of. Please welcome Randall Kane.
You still don't want to go up there. I hate the word zoomer. It's a 6-letter word and I think it's kind of stupid. I feel as though it's a very anticlimactic name for the post-Y2K generation. Very apt word, however, for 8 people who seem to want to be boomers with a new letter tacked on. I'm not sure why. That's how I feel about the word zoomer. I don't want to stop saying it. The word Gen Z doesn't even make that much sense, I think. Because Gen Z comes from how our parents are from Gen X. But Gen X doesn't refer to the letter X, it refers to how nothing happens. There's X. So where does the Z come from? Do you know? No? You're leaving me hanging. Do you know?
Is it because it's Gen X then Gen Y2K, so Gen Z comes afterwards?
No, fun fact, a nickname for the millennial generation is Gen Y. So maybe it was supposed to go X, Y, Z, but nobody calls them Gen Y. They never asked why.
Thank you so much to the guys at Mad Much for hosting us, and we hope you all have a great night. Thank you.